Truth and transparency machine works long term. It's kicked out really horrible people. You can take a look at just the background of everybody that's been kicked out. They're well known. They're all connected. Some of them might be decent people. I know a lot of people like this Kara Broderick, and quite frankly, I can give a rat's ass. But the truth is, guys, we stand. Okay, the bitch took my money and tried to run off with my idea, and I called her a bitch or whatever I did. Yeah, that's basically it. So, do I give a shit for the next 20 years of my life? No, I'm gonna give a shit 20 minutes after it. But the point is, she's got a hell of a lot of followers, so that's people that like to see her. I don't think they're gawking at her. I know Amy's got a soft spot for her, and I know that it hurt her when, it ended her friendship with her. But Kara doesn't have to, okay? People can just own the truth and own themselves. Like, what's the big fucking deal? That's what happened. That's what happened. And you could say a whole bunch of stuff. Am I an asshole? Yeah, especially to people that fuck me over. All right? Two truths, right? But the point is, don't you want to be acting in a manner that would make the people you love proud? Proud of you? Proud to be them? Think about that. I don't know. It's not a big part of this conversation. My kids are going to sleep right now. I don't want to run over to them and just say, look what Daddy did. It's not one of those moments, not one of those days. But there is a flurry of mental illness at work right now. Some people that I love, some people that really started getting a like. But also, my love is bigger, right, than just any one person, right? It's what are we doing here? Right? We don't violate the principles for anybody, all right? When you're ready to truly, and they're principles, they're not me. They're very clearly stated. It's just stuff. It's just a way to live your life that we believe is better. Right, is just better as a goal, like what religion would be, right? There's good Catholics and there's bad Catholics and there's no Catholics, and that's the idea of it, right? But just as a home base, as a center focal point of force, that's kind of always there. That, oh, are you Catholic? No, I'm a warrior. That's stupid. It's really not. It's really not. I don't know why it angers people. Just take the content of what I'm saying. Take the content of what I'm saying and doing and how all the facts line up and make sense of perceptions that a lot of people have. What is this complex PTSD? So the three things are problem with relationships, and a crisis of self, and an inability to regulate their emotions. So, inability to regulate their emotions. Some people worse than others. There are times that I don't have the ability to regulate my emotions. There's times that my anger takes hold, and I'm working on it. I'm minimizing those. I am taking steps forward every single day, but I deal with a lot of bullshit. And a lot of people really deserve the kick in the ass that they get from me. And when they look back, they're going to see that it was really not that bad, But my most grueling and hard-hitting insults are always the ones that are true. People know that they are true, right? Justin has been acting like a fucking selfish prick, and he's scared, and he needs to step up and be a man. All right, and take a hold of this. What he's doing is financially irresponsible to those 4 little girls. He had something with me that had a long runway. Now, is that replaceable? No. There's nobody else paying salaries. in this thing. I'd hear about it if there was. There's nobody. A lot of people asking for money. I'm not doing that either. We talk about things here. But I'm serious. I'm fucking serious as a fucking night is long. I don't know what the hell that statement was, but we're gonna do good things. I'm psyched about the good things we've done so far. And F anybody that wants to make that a bad thing. That is you in your disgusting little head and it's bad thoughts, and you should stop doing it, because successes, okay, that are legitimately successes about dealing with the crisis at hand that nobody's found a solution to in 35 years. If you're against hearing about that and giving it proper thought, making a correct decision, not an emotional decision, a correct decision about what path to follow. When you can sit there and say, am I acting out of fear? Am I acting out of jealousy? Am I acting out of envy? Am I acting out of sloth? Am I acting in a manner that says everything about me and nothing about Dave Weigel? For a lot of people, that answer is yes. Not everybody. Not everyone has to like me. All right. The sign of a great mission or whatever is, fuck the guy. The project is brilliant. It's a good thing. It's a good home base. It's a positive thing to have myself involved with. It's a positive thing. Have my children. It's a positive thing to have around my family. Is this altruistic mission? Are you part of the Warrior Project? Yes, I am. There'll be levels. Call it a religion, whatever you want. Whatever you want. It's a good thing. And if you're fucking making it about yourself, which everyone who is against me and the Warrior Project is 100% serving themselves with every single thing they do negatively towards us. They are not helping. How could they be helping anyone? The only way is if I'm a tremendous fraud. And how would that happen now? After 6 SEC investigations, okay, and FINRA, and an ongoing CFP forever. You're talking about 6, 7, 8 years of investigations. We get audited every 2 years, Never came up in 30 years on Wall Street. All those crashes. He never stole millions of dollars that he had access to, but he's really here to get his rocks off in the weirdest way ever. This guy just harms random people. He'll just pick some, random and just read all her documents and then call her kids and say, a bunch of lies. Yeah, your mom joined this, get this kid. All right, this fake advocacy group. You're going to love this, right? You hate her, right? You hate her? Oh, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. Okay. So anyway, she thinks she's, going to get you back and all this stuff, and she's a real inspiration and everything. Let's fuck with her, right? Let's make up this whole story that you have this restraining order just to fuck with her, right? Everyone thinks I'm this nice guy, dude. But dude, we know. Is that how it went? That's ridiculous. It's incoherent. But if you can believe that, Heather Mendel and Pete Arnold aside, Heather Mendel is a sociopathic narcissist behavior disorder. I'm not a doctor. I know how to read. This was given to me by the family members that, upon our research, we concluded that she's absolutely right. Laura Stiles, okay, who Heather tries to paint a picture that she's her mom's best friend. Laura Stiles is her ex-roommate in college. She knows Heather well. Heather stole her identity, wreaked havoc over her life. She found the hidden narcissist that is, Heather Mendel. And again, this is not slander. I am a registered 501c3 community watchdog organization. I have multiple people. We all know the regular system doesn't work. Heather Bendel's been able to scrub the internet, and she works the system like an obsessed person. We're doing with facts. She's doing with repetition and emotion and baseless but incoherent logic. Okay? Pete uses words like Dave Weigel, unhinged. People need to understand, okay? We're supposedly in the same industry. I'm here, all right? Pete is here, okay? He's the dental hygienist compared to a brain surgeon. And listen, it happens to people, all right? They get wrapped. Pete, you definitely haven't had a lot of dates in your life, okay? I get it, okay? How many times have you had to come in and patchwork up stories about your ex claiming rape on 4 individuals? Or wait, it's only 3. Oh, okay. So she only lied about being raped 3 times. These are facts. There's supported evidence. This is what we do. I wouldn't have a 501c3. Okay, these things would be challenged, right? The evidence is here and exists. Heather and Pete make the bet that you'll never look at the evidence. You'll never, ever look and do the research yourself. Their plan is bomb the airways. Dave Weigel's never going to sit here and let that insignificant nothing. She was a homeless person that signed her kids over to foster care. That's why her own daughter, who reached out to me at the request of the grandmother, all right, by herself. I showed the evidence. It's on the page. Called in. It's clear as day right there. None of this is AI generated. The other things that you can see, if you need to see more than Heather Bendel blaming 121 children, accusing them of being criminals, abusers. That word, that's a legal term. She did that publicly and was proud of it and put it on her own YouTube channel, which is where we got it. What do? We're showing it on the public ledger and saying, wake up, people. And then the second thing was sent to us by the mother-in-law. No, it was not fake. We do not believe it's fake. We've had it tested. It is not AI generated. That is fact. People, you got to do the research. You study up what narcissist personality disorder is. Do the top 10s and go and you connect the dots yourself, right? Go and look at the behaviors and everything that we're doing and take a look and see and put the pieces in yourself. That's what we do here, all right? So listen, these things need to be addressed, right? Good things are going to happen from here. If this is successful and we can make this always be a place that you know, if it's there, it's the fucking truth. If I can't trust it there on the Warrior Project, I can't trust anything. That's it. Lights out. Okay? It's all over. Because let me tell you, that's the goal. Be the one thing that will never, ever, ever sell out. The one thing. Everything has. Everything is disappointed. Everything was a buyout. Imagine someone who came and offered like $1 billion to just, or 100 million, or 10 million, or $1 million, or what's your number? $10. But if you don't give a shit, if you're actually really measuring life in a different way, it's not that hard. Money, I have it, It's okay. Doesn't give you everything. Allows you to say, fuck you, I'm in fucking the equator, on the beach, while you're in, 2 feet of snow. That's nice. Especially to my haters. This is going to lead to good outcomes. What I hope to see is another Catherine Lester story, all right? Because here was a woman that has dedicated, her life to this mission. I give you a little bit of her background before, when how she came to be damaged, and She readily admits this, okay? First and foremost, you speak to Catherine. She talks about it all the time in public fashion because she knows, she's smart enough to know that there's no shame. And it's just a reality of if you've been through this system and suffered these pains, you develop this short-term illness that is not always plaguing you, but can show up at any time, especially in high stress, high emotion situations. Again, these problem with relationships, scientifically proven disconnect there, right? This is how the brain is malfunctioning. You can be an adult and understand it and accept it, or you can lead to wrong decisions by just having the basis of your decision making fundamentally flawed from the onset, from the foundation, right? It's that important. You got to look at yourself. You got to be, who gives a shit? You got to be right. So problem with relationships, inability to regulate emotions, and crisis of self. We didn't talk about crisis of self. Crisis of self is where you feel like shit about yourself. So the yin to that yang is an overego, severe overego. Everything's about you. Everything's about, your thing. Your case becomes your identity. It's a crisis of self. It's that deep. It's a crisis of self. And that shows up in a variety of ways. All right. I think that's a lot behind Christian Haley's behavior lately. Fundamental illness 101, okay, is you can't be someone's hero and guardian angel on Friday, and on Saturday, the worst human being who's ever walked the earth. Right? That ping pong, I'm sorry, is a diagnosis. All right? That's either bipolar, okay? You can't be one or the other, right? Like I was never Jesus, okay? Not that you ever thought that, all right? But I'm also not who they're made up in your head and or identifying at this point. I mean, I respect like hell Christian's initial, feeling is to defend Justin, right? The whole concept, he's out of the Warrior Project. Do you think any of us wanted that? Would I have invested my whole business in him? Would I have just bought him a freaking phone, a computer? By the way, that was not compensation for anybody else. That was just his. He was the only one compensated with a free computer because he needed it, right? He never did take us up on the offer to fix his face, because then, who knows? Then he might have to not be a victim anymore, right? It's about growing up, right? It's about growing up. This has the opportunity to get things on the right path. Is it abrupt? Is it fucking harsh? Absolutely. Well, what have we been doing before that's worked so great? This is ridiculously long. I can't believe this is 51 minutes. But I'm gonna let it anyway, because fuck it, people do podcasts all the time. I think there were a lot of things that needed to be said. And the guys are so good. Kristen Vermeulen has gotten so fucking good at, and Kristen cut the effing, we just don't want to show up with them damn algorithms. Get rid of even the damn. But we can't change the message. None of this is about anything scripted. The entire thing is about just fucking telling people straight what's going on, what's really happening, what needs to be done. No politics, no favoritism. You get caught being selfish, you gotta go in suspension, which both of you are on. You wanna take that as, let's go try to destroy Dave Weigel's credibility and everything? Good fucking luck, guys. Stop. Just stop. Stop. You're not thinking. Okay? There's evidence. A lot of hot air. Right? It's really easy to get people to believe you. Right? It's all emotion, It's all emotion. But what sticks long term? Come on, you know. It's about fear, guys. It's about fear. Right? It's about fear. Something better for you is out there, and you're shooting yourself in the foot. Both of you guys are doing that right now. Okay? Nothing in the world happened. This was 100% you guys doing, right? But it's okay. It's okay. It's a pressure cooker. It's a learning situation. I'll live with the disrespect of the outrageous garbage being spewed about me and untruths that will absolutely, be revealed in time. And you got the opportunity to be a real man and a real woman and own your shit, own it right away, because that's where the growth comes from. There's absolutely no benefit. I mean, look what it's produced thus far. We had a love and something, and we still do. We still do. Got a bunch of people here on a mission. There was a lot of love at my apartment over that last week. And Christian Haley, you were a big part of it, Ben. I fell in love with you then. I still love you. But you're being a retard. And you need to stop. Okay? You don't have to be Queen of the Nile. Alright? You can be a lieutenant. Alright? But we gotta stay. We gotta respect the discipline that there is a process, that nobody cuts corners, right? Nobody cuts corners, right? We also gotta know that we know a lot, but have the confidence, in the depths is understand there's a lot we don't know. There's a lot we're just guessing, hoping we're right. There's a lot of emotion that's behind what's going on. Honestly, guys, it's just, the great healer between us is just to sit there and say, yeah, there's times that's me, and there's times my complex PTSD is in charge, and be honest and say, it has not led me to better places. It's not led me to better feelings. It's not led me to better outcomes. It's kind of what's been in my way my whole life, probably. So here's this catalyst of change. Gotta do shit differently, talk differently, be held accountable to different things. It's scary. It's easy to push back to the old habits, easier way of life. I'm sorry. I believe that unless you have a physical disability, and even if you do, that it is a man's job to earn a living for his family. Having children have responsibilities. They are financial responsibilities, and they're not to be taken lightly. What I am going to do right now to prove my point about doing the right thing over emotions and desires. It would be irresponsible of the Warrior Project not to continue Justin Nicely's salary of, be transparent, $500 a week until he gains employment on a permanent basis, not on the table, not side jobs, real job, like a real dad, healthcare, not the government shit. You're a white male born in the United States of America. You just rolled a great set of dice. That's not snake eyes. Being born a white male in the United States of America over the last 50 years. Your starting point is good, all right? It's good. There's been a little bit of an issue that you might have heard about how good it's been. So yeah. Is there a chance of getting through now? Exactly because of this work, this conversation? Being this blunt? To the whole world, just setting the record straight. That's what we do here. Which what we try to do, right? Is set the record straight. And the people that don't look good from that, look at what they're doing. It's everything to deflect from that very goal, right? Two, very, very, very two. Number one is to create doubt. And it's sad that there's people out there that are on the line, don't know whether they should come in. They're in need. And, they're also coming from a world where all they've done is be fucked over by everybody, people that you've trusted, right? That's why it's very important that, we have this principle that we'll never ask for donations. It will never be a for-profit business. We've eliminated the profit motive. I have no salary, thankfully. I think that's what a charity is. A charity you give to. It's about giving, right? So, yeah, while we're at it, just going to say people are going to find out that, Jessica Saxton, I really wanted to, be respectful and put the group and the mission above everything. And I am. I definitely am. Because people just need to know. Jessica is not an honest person, right? I think people will still follow her. I think people have put two and two together. I'm not going to sit here and call her a fraud or anything like that. Tana was a vagabond, okay? There's all reports out or whatever. But, I said from the very beginning, I said, that guy I just met, I was like, you're trying to tell me, if he gets all the way up to the front line and one of those politicians offers him a job, like, hey, buddy, you put up a good stink, all right? Why don't you come on this side, all right? Give you a nice salary, some more money under the table, but you got to turn your back on all those people that you brought there. Anyone doesn't think that Tana Downing would not take that money without a thought coming across his mind? That's just the line between informed and not informed. All right? That's right there in front of you. All right? I've never wanted to really adjust this, but there's enough shit coming from what people think are credible sources, and people have to understand those are not credible sources. There's good people like Tiff and the Punisher that have the balls to stand up and tell the truth like us, and they take shit too. They take hits too, because you understand the troll machine, right? The people that are not, they didn't get to where they got on truth and transparency. On the other side of that, right? So here's also some great numbers that people need to understand, because this is the fundamental backdrop. There's well known in science that in large populations, the rate of narcissism, all right, actual narcissist personality disorder, the real abuser type, all right, that is in 4 up to 6% of population. We'll post the Jordan Peterson pieces that he speaks about that specifically. This is all his research and numbers and backing, and that is one of the smartest men on the planet, and that's also fact as well. So on 20,000 people, quick math, everybody, double it, 800. 800 people hell-bent on harm. And I'm the one harming them. Or maybe it's a project, but I'm the visible one. I came up with the idea. I think we're doing pretty good. If 800's the baseline, I don't have 800 people coming after me. I might have 800 people rooting real hard for the bad guys, but I don't have 800 people hating on me. And you know what? The 1,000 that love what I'm doing, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, a million, 2 million, fucking a billion, who cares? I do, because I want this to be successful for people. Like, how could you be against success in this sphere? How can you legitimately be in the way of that? Right now, message to all the trolls, all the people that are out there to destroy my name, destroy this project. What are the known numbers and facts? We posted it. It's in our files. Those are 25 successes by the end of 2025. Go and read each and every one and try to come back and say that any one of them is bullshit or isn't a real success or isn't something that somebody in the pits of it right now wouldn't effing love to have happen in their case. Like Be convinced you're going to jail, you're losing your custody, and losing your career. Be convinced of it. That was happening. Everyone has turned their back. Helen Garber was going to court with no one backing her, as far as fundamentally the people that had all the same things, because of the fear. Because of the fear. And I know I'm not very liked in Ulster County because of that. But again, is that a Dave Weigel thing? Or is it you just hating the scoreboard? Right? Don't hate the scoreboard. The scoreboard just tells you the score. These things happened. And I've been also very balanced and pragmatic to say, I don't think that that's bad. Like, they were under a real, and I think they might still, fear of a viable threat to their lives. And I thought that at the very, very time it happened. And I still do today. And I hope they know. If anybody knows the real true threat you ladies are under, it's me, and I've made a life of it. And believe it or not, I actually give a shit. Really, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to help people. And we got this machine working, right? Because when I showed up for Helen Garber, and just the fact that I was there, the matter I was there, changed the game. Changed the whole power dynamic. Revealed a lot of stuff. How? How could something that did that much good, clear, visible good, produce the level of negativity that you saw after it? I mean, just dissect it, please. I still don't think I've heard any response to that. I heard a lot of talk around it about me. And it's always Dave is of this. It's never Dave did that. And it's amazing how far you can get without ever citing a single fact or having a damn bit of evidence. People make it their lives. They make it their lives. Look at these freaks, the Samaritanos. Over 1,000 people. That is not an exaggeration. Every single day. Go look at either one of them's pages. I think they're being taken down finally. Police will not do anything. If you can't see, obsessed much, I put out 3 or 4 pieces over a year as a community watchdog organization to again warn people that unfortunately the police in Toms River, New Jersey, Captain Guy Marie, refuses to do his job. He knows Jason Samaritano lives over in Holiday City illegally. It's an over 55 community. With Aaron, they have lawsuits with them too, because their strategy is sue first, right? Attack Darvo. But yeah, listen, we got a Darvo killer, all right? And this is what it is, truth and transparency machine. Because we're purposely saying this is the evidence, this is the evidence, this is the evidence. Let the evidence do the talking. And we try to present things to make sense and to the right audience, to the people in the right mindset, the people who want the right things. They're here because I want to understand how these successes can be them next, right? That's why we should be here, right? Isn't that the most important thing? But it does make you ponder, how do people put that out of their mind? How do they put it out of their mind and concoct this hatred and just ignore the fundamental facts of what's going on?